Paris is famous for many things. There's the Eiffel Tower, the beautiful majestic architecture, the food and the Seine. Let alone these sights, Paris is already worth a trip. However, Paris is also known for the numberless museums. The most famous one is the Louvre, but there are other ones too, like the Musée d'Orsay and the Centre Georges Pompidou. The Musée d'Orsay inhabits a former train station of the same title. Just the building itself, created in the Beaux-Arts style, is already worth to see. The museum is centrally located at the south of the Seine, exactly on the opposite side of Tuileries. Amongst many different exhibitions, the Musée d'Orsay displays the largest collection of impressionistic artwork of the time from 1840 to 1914. Some of the most famous French impressionists are Manet and Cézanne. Manet was born on January 23, 1832 in Paris. He was one of the first painters of his time who started to portray aspects of the modern life. Many of his most popular works are on display at the Musée d'Orsay, including On the Beach, The Pfeiffer, and Olympia. Paul Cézanne is supportive of post-impressionism. He is said to have built the bridge between the late 19th century Impressionism and the early 20th century Cubism. Therefore, Matisse and Picasso are said to have remarked that Cézanne is the father of all of us. The museum has gathered a variety of unique still lifes that mostly portray fruits and other types of food. Famous examples are apples and oranges and the blue vase. Besides the still life, there are many other masterpieces of Cézanne's outstanding talent, including The Murder, The Boy in the Red Vest, Pyramid of Skulls, the Card Player series, and The Bathers. Besides its vast collection of paintings, the Musée d'Orsay allows visitors to explore all kinds of other art mediums. Its assortments of sculptures, photographies, architecture, and graphic arts provide interesting aspects for everybody.
When it rains in Paris, you can either stop for a glass of wine or head for a museum. If you're lucky, you might even get a little traveling music along the way. One of the greatest art museums in Paris is the Musée d'Orsay on the left bank of the River Seine. The Orsay was once a train station. It opened in 1900 just in time for the Paris World Exposition. By 1939, the platforms in the Beaux-Arts style building were deemed too short to handle long-distance trains, so it was relegated to suburban trains. By 1970, it was scheduled for demolition in order to make way for a new hotel. But government officials stepped in to save it, eventually deciding it should be renovated and converted into an art museum, featuring works of art created between 1848 to 1915. The Orsay now has the largest collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art in the world. When it opened in December 1986, it had 2,000 paintings and 600 pieces of sculpture, a fraction of what the Louvre has, but it doesn't leave you feeling overwhelmed. Unfortunately, photography is not allowed in the galleries. Perhaps the most beautiful work of art is the building itself. One of the most iconic elements of the building are its clocks. The one overlooking the old platforms is as beautiful as any piece of art. The exterior clocks offer a unique perspective. You can look out from the backside of the giant timepieces and see parts of the city, like Montmartre, where many of the artists whose work is displayed at the Orsay today lived and worked. The Orsay is truly one of the world's greatest museums and definitely should be on everyone's must-see list. Rain or shine.
In contrast to the novel appearance of the Musée d'Orsay, the Centre Pompidou raises questions for visitors who are confused by the strange architecture of the building. The Centre Pompidou, whose full name is Centre Georges Pompidou, opened its doors for the first time on January 31, 1977. It is named after Georges Pompidou, who was President of France between 1969 and 1974. The central location is perfect for visitors who are exploring the sights of downtown Paris. It is located in the 4th arrondissement, within reach of Châtelet, which is a main junction of public transportation. The building's architecture is inspired by high-tech materials and includes not only the Musée National d'Art Moderne, but also a library as well as a center for music and acoustic research. The Musée National d'Art Moderne hosts more than 100,000 modern and contemporary pieces from different collections. The modern painting collections display works of Surrealism, Cubism, as well as pop and contemporary art. Amongst others, the most famous artists of the modern age are Picasso, Matisse, and Dalí. One of the most famous representatives of contemporary art is Andy Warhol, who is famous for his screen prints. Besides the vast collection of paintings, the museum offers all kinds of other art mediums. Aside from the art aspect, the vibrant and dynamic culture center delights with a mixture of performances, cinemas, and workshops, which makes it an irresistible highlight for more than just an art expert. Both the Musée d'Orsay and the Centre Pompidou focus on the fascinating art of the last 2 centuries, and definitely deserve a spot on your to-do list when you visit Paris.